Okay. Item number 38 is John Makowski here. Let's see. While you're here.
Yes.
Okay. What is this a regular bartender or?
Yeah. She's been there quite a while. She obviously made a very bad mistake. We were very surprised that she made that mistake. And she was disciplined. It was, unfortunately, it's a good learning for all of our bartenders, and we get an opportunity to talk to all of our bartenders and explain the situation and how it's not acceptable.
Okay.
Move to place on file.
Second.
Is there any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Keep an eye on it.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. Appreciate it.
Thanks for coming.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Michael Ware? Here?
Right here.
Where right here, huh? You get it. And you know why you're here.
Yep.
Were you there? No, you weren't there when it happened, did you?
No.
And as far as the person, was the person disciplined or?
I did discipline the bartender who served the underage person. We had a meeting with the other bartenders and just discussed the severity of the issue, and everybody knows, you know, we're not a place where kids come in and drink, but it can happen, and we really have to look out for it.
Right. That's why we do the compliance checks, because, you know, people, you know, sometimes, you know, a family comes to eat and somebody's a little bit too young, but you got to kind of watch for that. And you talk to everybody, that's what we want to do. We just don't want this to happen constantly. You two were the only 2 out of 11 places they went to. So.
Yeah, I saw that. Kind of embarrassing.
So. Anybody else have anything else?
Move to place on file.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Thank you.
Have a good night, guys.
Thanks.
Melissa Belshaw? Okay. This is applying for a new bartender's license at Bronze.
Yes.
Okay.
Mr. Chair,
On road.
we're trying suspended license right now.
Suspend.
Driver's license.
Oh, my driver's license.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's suspended.
Okay, how did you get here tonight?
I go.
Yeah, Mr. Chair, I'll follow up on that. You were cited for operating while suspended since November of 2016 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times.
Yeah, I'm working on getting those all paid off.
Okay. So, as a bartender, we expect our bartenders to obey the law. You're showing us here that you're not obeying the law. Do you have an explanation for that?
No, I mean, I shouldn't have been driving, and there's not an excuse for it, and I don't unless I absolutely have to, like for work purposes. It's not like I can't work. I have bills to pay and rent to pay, which is why I'm trying to work a second job so that I can pay off all those tickets and do things the right way.
What Alderman Haas is trying to say here is that, you know, when you get your driver's license, it has all these rules and regulations, and when you get a bartender's license, it has rules and regulations. Now,
Yeah.
we look and say, well, you obviously don't care about your driver's license regulations. Why are you going to care about ours? And you're going to serve people that are underage, and you can serve people when you're still drunk, and that's why we do this. And I would, if I was you, I'd call somebody to drive home because
I will.
police chief is sitting in the back of the room.
I know.
So,
Or take the bus?
yeah, or walk to Bronze. One of the two. So,
Mr. Chair, I move for denial.
based on
Based on the history of legal violations.
Second.
Okay, is there any further discussion?
Mr. Chair,
Alderman May.
I was prepared to approve this license tonight until you just told me that you drove here this evening. You know, it's one thing that this happened in the past, and you know, you can make an argument that I'm trying to correct it, and I appreciate your honesty with us. That's good, but unfortunately, you broke the law in getting here as well, following up on that previous record, and so I was ready to approve this, but I think by doing that, you know, I understand you're trying to make a living. I do. But we need you to work on, you know, finding other means, perhaps, of getting back and forth to work, okay? Or finding a way to do something about your driver's license, whether it's a special permit for working or something like that. But so, I'm sorry.
And Mr. Chair?
Alderman.
Yeah, following up on what Alderman May said too, please don't get the idea that if you would have just said that you took the bus here, that you would have been approved. No, yeah, we have cameras. We do routinely check situations like yours that come before us to see, did you drive here? Did you walk here? Find some other way here. Okay, thank you.
Okay, we have a motion and second. Any further discussion? The motion is to deny. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Sorry.
Thank you.
Rosa Maria Gomez
Carenza.
Corenza.
Mr. Chair, she called today and she said she wasn't able to make it.
Okay, we'll hold until our next meeting.
I don't know if you wanted to do that, or I put a little blurb on your cheat
Yeah.
sheet there
Is this-
about it. If you wanted me to expound on it, I can.
No, it's 41, correct? Yes.
Correct,
Well,
item number 41.
I'm sorry, yes.
Well, we usually have the people come
Second
in front of
appearance.
us, you know, on this, so I would rather have them come in front of us and talk to us and ask why these things weren't put in there.
This is actually her second request.
Non-appearance.
This is second, not,
Second
well, she did call though,
non-appearance.
so.
Yeah, Mr. Chair, I'd move we give her just one more chance then, since she at least did call, rather than just simply not showing up.
Okay,
I'll second that if it needs a
okay,
second.
no, it doesn't need a
Yeah,
second, we're just gonna hold it.
It's a good idea.
Okay, then we have item number 30, this is our, various license.
Move approval, subject to necessary requirements.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. We have the police department's report, number 31. Let's just do 31 first.
Move to place on file.
Second.
Who's second? Me? Me got that first?
Yeah.
Okay. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? We have item number 32, which is the 38 random businesses with no violations.
Move to place on file.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? And then we have items 33, 34, 35, 36, and 37.
Move to place on file.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Motion adjourned?
So moved.
Oh, that's for me.
No,
Yep.
Cool, thank you. Yep, that's perfect, thank
that's the
you.
other one. That's coming now, so.
Yep.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
All right, and I'll call the Administration and Finance Committee to order. All 5 members are present. And we will start with the joint referral, which is item number 9, a resolution authorizing the superintendent of forestry, who's here, to apply for a cost share grant for $20,000 regarding emerald ash borer mitigation.
Move approval.
Second.
Motion from Alderman Weigel, a second from Alderman Root. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have
I was
it.
going to ask Mike how the results been over the years. We've been doing this a couple of years now. And
The last time we applied for this one, this is from sewer patch, basically. It's the Bay Lakes area that does it. We did not get it last time. So-
I mean, in general, the EAB program.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's been going great. We have not found another city tree any city trees that we are treating with the insect. But I do believe it's gonna be a very interesting year for the city in private trees, because the surrounding communities have had a huge uptick in private trees that are not being treated, being killed by the insects. So I think we're gonna see some more of that in the city,
Thank you.
primarily the private side.
Mr.
All right,
Chair.
I think we'll know May 1st whether or not we get it to the ground.
Mr. Chairman.
Alderman Chablisky.
We have no control over anybody's private trees. I mean, if you see a tree that's obviously,
Until it's damaged.
you know, infested, we don't do nothing about that.
Well, if the tree is to the point where it's hazardous, we do. We
Right.
don't do anything preemptive as far as the public trees go. We do have some information on the website, and last year we started a program with the downtown business district called Wood and Wings,
Right.
which was an event where we took ash trees that we had cut down, and we cut them into basically a small table and chairs, and they had artists come in and paint them, and then they auctioned them off. Well, the whole art forestry was involved from the whole prospect of promoting the awareness of EAB to the public. So I will be doing that again this year. It was pretty successful. Marty was involved.
Okay.
So we're trying to get the word out there as much as we can, yes.
Okay, thank you.
And,
Yeah.
Mr. Chair, and just for the folks at home, so if you have an ash tree in your backyard, what does it typically cost a year to treat versus what does it cost to cut it down and start all over? You got a ballpark on that?
yeah, so
Size of
if
the
you-
tree matters, I get that.
It does, it does. So if you're gonna treat a tree, probably the most cost-effective and best product for your dollar is an injectable, emamectin benzoate is injected into the tree, and you do it every 2 years. It's about $7 a diameter inch, but it has excellent proven effect for maintaining the health of the tree. There are some soil applicants that you can put around the tree. Once the tree gets to a certain size, they're not as effective. So I guess if any, we always will go to the resident's home, answer any questions they have. Do they have an ash tree? Does it look like it's got any problems? We do that for all the residents.
And that's not a service we provide. They contract with a private
As far as
contractor.
injecting them, it would be
Yes.
private contractor,
And,
yes.
and cutting a tree down runs into the hundreds, thousand,
A
hundreds.
12-inch tree is easily $800-900, depending on where it is on the property.
Plus the stump.
Pardon me?
Plus the stump removal.
Yeah.
Plus the stump. And then you don't have a tree either.
Right,
Yeah, thank you.
okay.
Yeah, thanks,
you.
Mike.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, moving on to item 10, ordinance to amend the City of West Dallas salary schedule regarding a fleet manager in the police department.
Move approval.
Motion from Alderman Weigel,
Second.
second from Alderman May. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. And item 11 is a resolution to implement City of West Dallas Pay for Performance program by amending the City of West Dallas Policies and Procedures Manual as identified in the resolution.
Mr. Chair.
Ms. Grill.
Rebecca Grill, City Administrator. I was before the committee last week at the meeting last Monday to discuss these changes in the policy. Nothing has significantly changed except that we inserted the municipal court employees from being excluded from the program under the persons affected portion. I don't know if there's any questions you have regarding this to follow up on our discussion we had last week.
Alderman Chablisky.
So you're saying that what we're voting on tonight, the court employees are in there also?
They are not.
They are not.
They're
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 excluded.
inserted in the excluded.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Inserted in the excluded.
And how about the city attorney's office?
At this point, the city attorney's office is not excluded, so that means they're included. There was the opinion that was received
Right, I read it.
that said that basically the clerical staff should be part of the program without changing anything. The assistant city attorneys, there would need to be an ordinance change. Right now, Scott is out of the office, so I had asked to have one of the assistant city attorneys look at the ordinance I had drafted, which they wisely said they shouldn't because it was their own compensation. So if there's a desire to have them excluded this evening, you could certainly put that in there. Otherwise, going forward, it would be my intention when Scott comes back to go over with him the legal and enforceability of the ordinance that I had drafted for the committee's review.
I would think that before, because we don't have 100% clarification on it. We got an opinion, well, we had a lot of opinions. And we need to sit down and work that out. I'd rather not see it in here until that's squared away, and then we can put it back in. If so desired. Because there's a few other issues that are going to be coming up in the future here, I think, that may relate to the whole thing.
Mr. Chair?
Alderman Weigel.
I'd like to move that we amend it to exclude the assistant city attorneys for now.
Okay.
I think that's what you're looking for, right?
Assistant city attorneys, or are we going to talk about the whole? That's the only thing that's an argument. Their clerks are.
Clerk's
I
office.
thought it said that their clerks are also. They're figuring are
Mr. Chair.
not.
Sure.
What is the city attorney requesting?
The city attorney asked not to be part of the program, period.
His whole office.
He cited the statute that was related to municipal court and said that it applied to him also. So right now, his preference is to not have any of his employees participate, which is a policy decision for you. That
Right,
certainly.
I would just like to hold them all out then until we have a discussion when he's here and can give his case directly to us legally. And I think that I'd like to do that. Just make it fair.
Amend my amendment?
Sure, go ahead.
Include the entire city attorney staff.
Include them as excluded.
Include them as excluded, yes. Declude them.
And we're just going
Declude.
Don't you just want to
No,
hold
because
all of
we-
11?
Well, we're going to be voting on.
Mr. Chair,
Alderman May.
I was going to ask, shouldn't we just hold it then? Because why do this, pass it, and change it again?
Mr. Chair.
Go ahead and roll the program
We
out.
have a lot of things planned, meetings, training, and everything that hinges on the program. I don't think there's a dispute as far as the overall program. It's who you want to include, and there's one small group of people. So, frankly, it would be more work on the staff's part if we would hold it all right now than just bringing back the item on the next meeting.
So I guess what I don't understand is state statute says that the courts and the court staff have to be excluded. I get that from the opinion, but from what I read from the opinion, it's not necessarily the attorney's office. I understand the elected official, the attorney, city attorney himself. You can't change benefits for them in the middle of a term, but their staff, from what I read of the opinion, we can certainly include them in the paper for performance. Correct?
Correct. If you change the ordinance, if you change the city's
Right.
ordinances,
I guess.
which I can't get an opinion on that right now.
Right. I guess that's where I'm a little confused. Why wouldn't we include them and then later exclude them if we had to? What's the reason?
I'm just saying because the city attorney's not here to give his opinion of the other opinions. Like lawyers always
So
do.
you're saying is
So I'm
exclude it,
saying-
but bring
Oh, yeah,
back
we'll bring it back.
I
We'll
want
bring
to
it
have
back.
the debate at
Yeah,
least.
yeah,
So
oh,
that-
yeah, this isn't permanent,
That's-
Mr.
that's-
Chair.
That's the intent.
That's the intent.
Okay.
Alderman Weigel.
Yeah, I wouldn't see
exclude.
this as a permanent answer. We need to have an opinion from the city attorney on this.
And we need to get everything else.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and
As
whatever
long
the
as it
rest
comes
of the
back.
rest of the program has to roll out. Yeah.
Because personally, I would think it. If I could see maybe assistant city attorneys, including them, not including them, but I could see like
Clerical staff?
the clerical staff, including them in the program. But I guess we'll have that debate next meeting, perhaps. Okay.
So we have, we have a motion to exclude the entire city attorney staff, put them in the excluded list, and we have a motion. Is there a second for that? for that amendment.
Second.
We have a motion and a second on the
Exclude,
amendment.
right?
And then so we'll act on the amendment first. On the amendment, any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. And then on the motion as amended, can I have a motion to approve?
Second.
I made the motion. We have a second from Alderman Road. Thank you, Alderman Road. And then any discussion on that? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Thanks, Mr. Chair.
Always second. It's so used to being second.
All right. And item 12, resolution relative to accepting a proposal of Vanguard Partners for some computers.
Move for approval.
A motion from Alderman Chaplesky. Is there a second?
Second.
Second from Alderman May. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. And item 13, resolution to approve storefront improvement program grant contract with the city of West Allis and Team Tam.
Move approval.
Motion from Alderman Weigel. Is there a second?
Second for discussion.
Second from Alderman May. Yeah.
I'd like to see
Patrick, would you like to tell us about this, please?
Thank you.
Mr. Chair?
Go ahead.
I know we looked at this originally, it was going to be the entire building, but now I see it's really just the north
It is
facade.
the more historic
Yeah.
part to the building. We did look at the whole side, but the costs
Yeah.
just become, and maybe in the future we come back to this. There is a plan that included
Thought we
this
had a
space.
limit on facade improvement grants by address over time, no?
No.
Okay.
No, I mean, this idea here is there's slider windows on the second floor. The windows are all, and we have a large development site across the street. And here the owner wants to invest in bringing back the kind of the historic look of it. We looked back at some of the plans, and it had windows like this, bring back storefront and create curb appeal that will be across from the development. And the cost of this be paid out of the economic development funds that we put into the TIF budget for TIF 14. You might recall that from the previous budget meetings you've had. Here's the current look, and here's the what it would look like if you want to see. So the brick is all enhanced, the storefront entrance, and the windows, and it's been through plan commission and received approval.
I didn't want to see it. I'm sorry.
It's a $65,000 project.
So they're putting 35 in of their own.
Correct.
Okay.
That's the way we have structured the program, being a 50% match.
And it's a 30 grand cap? Is that what
Yes,
this cap's
correct.
out? Yeah. And Mr. Chair?
Go ahead.
So reading through the bids, I saw that some of that stuff seemed like it was more like maintenance, like tuck pointing and stuff like that.
Well, I mean, when you have bricks that date back to the age of this building, you're going to need to go back and do some maintenance. Maintenance can be part of that, otherwise you're going to get spalling.
Yeah, no, I know. I have an old building too.
Right.
I know.
Any further discussion? All in favor say, oh, Patrick, you're going to say something?
I was
Go
just
ahead.
going to say, it also needs the cleaning, tuck pointing, because you might recall what was across the
Foundry.
street was a
Yeah.
foundry that occasionally would spew some black powder through the neighborhood that would
Come on.
kind of influence the way buildings looked in this area.
And timeline, I mean, is this ready to go?
Ready to go.
Shovel
She's
ready?
more
Okay.
eager than probably want to move faster than I can do. So.
Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Item 14, communication from the city for Director of Communications requesting to amend the position
Thank
of
you.
Communications Associate.
You're welcome.
Go ahead, John. Come here and talk to us.
Communicate.
So this was budgeted for this year, and it's just has to do with resource reallocation and kind of when we restructured the communications department. So when there were 2 people doing this position, now there's 1 person doing this position. So there's an increased demand on this position, and there'll be further increased demand on this position as we go through the rebranding project.
Mr. Chair?
Alderman
And you
Weigel.
said this was budgeted at 7.5 or 0.9 or 1?
0.9.
At 0.9?
Yeah.
Okay. Move approval.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Thanks, John. And item 15, report from the Finance Director Comptroller. Can I have a motion to place on file?
So moved.
Second.
A motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Item 16 is the Edward Whistle claim relative to damages sustained at 7210 West Greenfield.
Mr. Chair?
Yes, go ahead.
I had this held in the last committee meeting, and I have since had a chance to speak with the Assistant City Attorney Mertens on this. Yeah, on the face of this, to me, this looks like something we should pay. But the reality is that if we don't know about the failing infrastructure, then we're not liable to pay. And we have consistently not been paying on these. So it just seems to me that water main break causes a sewer failure that floods this guy's basement and does thousands of dollars of damage, and this is the break that eventually led to the
Sinkhole.
the potential sinkhole issue on Greenfield Avenue. We had 2 blocks closed off for 3 weeks, and it just seems in my heart I want to pay this, but because we didn't know that as soon as we knew the water main break, we got on it. I mean, if you guys recall, we had a sidewalk a couple months ago where we didn't fix the sidewalk in a timely manner, and we knew about it, so we did have to pay that one. But this one here, I just put myself in his situation. It'd be like if you were in a car accident and somebody hits you, someone should pay. So I guess, but that's our policy. So I'm going to be voting no on this. I mean, if it's the move to deny, I'm going to vote. I know it's a can of worms, but I just can't. Yeah. So, and did everybody read the claim? Mr. Whistle put in there his hourly rate, and the city. When I spoke to the city attorney, she didn't understand that this is what he does. He's a property manager. So when he put down his personal time of $50 an hour on a Sunday evening, that's what he charges. And if you could get somebody to your basement to clean out your basement, your flooded basement, flooded with backed up sewer water, for $50 an hour on a Sunday, give me his card, because that's a good price.
Alderman, I was just going to say, we didn't have any prior knowledge because
No, that's what it is.
kind of happens everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I would suggest that we need to rely on the legal opinion of Assistant City Attorney Merton, and we would need to deny the claim.
So, Mr. Chair.
Yes.
So, is the city attorney's office saying basically this is an act of God? Is this something we didn't know about? It just happened, and we didn't have a chance to correct it because we didn't even know about it, or how does? Go
I
ahead.
would categorize that as insurance terminology to it, but essentially the case law supports that we're not responsible for damages caused when we're not knowledgeable about whatever defect may or may not have occurred. There's a reasonableness issue to that as well, and then frankly we've gone this route in the past, and the concern is whether or not, I think the terminology used was can of worms, but if we go this route on this one, we're going to be shooting ourselves in the foot for future potential claims. So this has been consistently how we've handled these, and it's supported by appropriate case law.
Is there a motion from the committee?
Move to deny.
We have a motion from Alderman May to deny. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Have a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, and the motion to deny, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
No.
We have 4-1 to deny. And if you'll just again bear with me for a moment.
Because you already had it filled out, didn't you?
No, I didn't. I have to put the X's in now and not later. Yeah. There we go. All right, and then can I have a motion to place number 17 on file?
So moved.
Second.
A motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. And
Motion to adjourn. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. We're adjourned.